played golf yesterday. I'm on my way to play golf again today. So I've got my golf bag in my car and everything. Yes. Can't wait to go. I'm Mathys Roets. I'm a local singer, musician in South Africa. I do the Afrikaans side of the Leonard Cohen music and a bit of Neil Diamond, Cat Stevens, more folk music. And didn't expect to end up in a place or in a position that I'm now. But life goes on, and it's actually for the better sometimes. I've always been an active guy, not wild stuff, but I always enjoyed, from my school days, from student days, hiking, anything camping, anything that you can go outdoors with. 4x4s, motorbikes, quad bikes, jet skis. Always enjoyed my motorbike. It's one of my prized possessions. It's a motorbike that could take me any place I want to go. I had it for more than 10 years, the same motorbike. And then one April, I decided to use the motorbike to drive down to a music festival in the Cape at Oudtshoorn, just 70 kilometers past Bloemfontein. And I just went off the road and had an accident. And the next thing I knew, I woke up 11 days later in a hospital. And it's only after a while that you realize, but listen, I can't even lift my arms. Everything's like kind of, you're kind of stuck in that bed. At that stage, I didn't had any idea what was going on. My main concern was I have to get to the music festival because I know my bank manager is waiting for the returns, his share of the spoils when we get back. So the first thing you want to do is you think, okay, maybe it's just half a day or something. So I know I need to get there. At that stage, I didn't know that I couldn't move because I'm a paraplegic. I just couldn't move because I'm just in too much pain. Got too many pipes and stuff in my body anyway. So I wasn't too concerned about the spinal injury. And after about a week and a half, my lungs got to a point where they were good enough that they can take me into surgery to do the fusion. When I came out, the first thing I asked the doctor, just straight, what's the prognosis for that now? And he said, no, it's off. You're officially a paraplegic. It's kind of daunting, but I really like the straightness to know, okay, this is it. And now I must come to terms with that. Obviously, I didn't have any idea of the process. Getting from the ICU to the normal ward was a big step, actually a scary step. I mean, I was in ICU for 5 weeks. You learn to know the nurses. It was at Life Rosa Park in Bloemfontein, and it's amazing how you get used to who's there around your bed, who's caring for you. And then I moved to normal ward in the same hospital. I was only there for a week, and that was scary. It was really scary. That's the first time they made me sit upright. So and it's sore and it's scary. And then the next thing, they stopped there with the ambulance and said, listen, I've got to drive from Bloemfontein to Randburg to go to Riverfield Lodge. That's where I'm going to do my rehab. I think in rehab, I realized immediately when I started doing exercises that on an exponential level, on a day-to-day level, that my breathing and everything, because of the collapse of my lungs and my ribs, that helped me quite a lot. Specific exercises. The 2 months at the rehab is one of those defining moments for me to get from where I was to where I am now. I wanted to be able to do something new every day. Brush my own teeth, eat on my own. One morning, or the first time they got me seated in the wheelchair, it wasn't even more than 2 minutes, and I said, please, I want to get back in bed. And you think it's going to be a long process. How do you progress from 3 minutes to a whole day? And it wasn't even more than a week. And it was those little goals. One weekend, we had a braai. 2 guys in a wheelchair trying to braai for the first time. And it was, I think if somebody watched that, they could have made a comedy out of that. But it was just really, really nice, and to know we did it. And that's the kind of thing that really sets you looking forward to life and living in motion. After about 2 or 3 weeks, they give you 1 day to go home and go visit friends, then come back again. And I organized with somebody that they put hand controls into my vehicle, because I needed to get to terms with that, getting in the car, taking my chair apart, load my own chair, and we stopped right down there at the bottom. And I tried to get in the car. It was really, really difficult. It took me probably about 10 minutes to get the thing in and out again. And my friend said, okay, just do it again. And he was standing there, crossed arm, didn't even lift a finger to help me. But that's what you need. You need somebody to let you figure it out for yourself. And I did it, and I said, okay, but now, once I'm in, I might as well try to drive the car. And I did just a small turn in the parking lot, and I thought, but it's normal. And I told my friend, no, you can go home. You can leave the car here. That was Thursday, no, Friday. And Saturday morning, I was supposed to go visit my kids and friends for the first day out, go to my own house for the first day. And I didn't tell anybody that they need to come and collect me. I just got in my car and I drove back home. So when I stopped at my house, just to see the faces and the surprise on everybody's face, that for me was priceless. To know that they could see that I could do it on my own. I decided I just blocked my performance dates for 3 months. I was still in the ICU. I said, okay, in 3 months' time, I didn't have an idea. I just thought that's a nice time frame to work in, and I just had to go. I just needed to get on the road and go and do it. And my first performance that I did was at Riverfield here for the patients the day that I left. I said, okay, I just want to see if it's possible. Kind of part of my rehab, I need to get out now and go and do that. And I was actually surprised how easy it was to sing. At the beginning, it was quite difficult to hold on to the guitar. And I've got a little bag that I just put on my lap, and it just balances the guitar, and I can do any show that I want. So I can carry on with my career exactly where I left off. I'm a slightly better dancer. One thing that I can say now is it just gets so much better.
It wasn't much I couldn't feel, so I tried to touch. I've told the truth, I didn't come to fool you. And even though it all went wrong, I'll stand before the Lord of Song with nothing on my tongue but a hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah.
The fans and the people basically carried me, because I don't want to disappoint anybody, and I don't want to disappoint myself. What helped me quite a lot was, from the beginning, those little things, that the first guys that came to visit me in hospital. Just one of the first guys was Andre Venter, a rugby player. And he came in with his son. And his son walked with his dad. And you could see how proud his son is of his dad, even though he's in a wheelchair. And I realized, that's one of the things I want to do. I want to relate in such a way to people around me that my kids can still be proud of me. And to the day, they probably think I'm the best wheelchair rider in the country. And it's small little things while I was there that people changed, or people in wheelchairs changed my perception the most. I've got friends that have been in a wheelchair for 30 years, 35, 40 years. And it's amazing to look up to them and see what they accomplished and what they've done with their lives since their accidents. It's not easy. But the more you do, it progressively gets better. The more normal you feel. And I can honestly tell you, after 5 years now, and it's not just something that I'm saying, I can't always distinguish between before my accident and after my accident. Show them, don't feel sorry for me, just rather look at me, what I can do. And that's how I try to portray who I am. I've started doing road races, and I race against runners, and I'm up in the first quarter of the field. I'm faster than most of the runners, and I like that. Okay, downhills is probably a bit of a cheat, because I'm in a wheelchair. I don't need to be pushed, and I want to show them, listen, if you want to push me, you need to be able to catch up to me first. I like that. I like to change the perception. So just fight for your normality. Don't give in on what society expects. Do what you want to do, and it will get better.